Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, a car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are for a podcast on the man himself, Turtleboy, the Worcester blogger who is now facing a civil suit that is coming from the House defendants, the McAlberts, Chris Albert, Jen McCabe, Colin Albert, and so on. These people are suing him and Karen Reed in civil court for defamation, and it is absolute bullshit, and it pisses me off, and it fires me up because I am a turtle rider, and I know that he did great journalism, and I know that he did everything to protect Karen Reed. I know that Karen Reed is factually innocent, 110% factually innocent, as proved by science, as proved by ARCA. Whether you want to accept it or not, that is up to you. I had a good friend tell me, tone it down on Turtleboy. Don't talk about Turtleboy. You make yourself look stupid. Well, it would be nice, except the friend hasn't spoken, hasn't seen me, hasn't done anything with me in months. So, Dom, you don't really have the right to tell me what to do with my content or my channel when you don't involve me in anything. And that is disappointing. That is a shame. I was told that was going to change, and it has not. And we all have a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, going to lunch, hanging out, talking. That was supposed to be a possibility, and it hasn't. So you want to criticize me for what I talk about on my shows? Come on my shows and debate me. Come talk with me. How about respond to a text? How about do that? instead of blowing me off. And that's how you kind of know when you have a relationship with your friends, when there is zero communication. You send a text and you don't receive anything back. That pretty much shows you where you stand. So whether I talk about Turtleboy or not, is it really going to affect my relationship with anyone? Is it really going to make anything worse? How much worse can it get? I mean, it can get worse. It can get worse. It can get a lot worse, and it probably will. At the point I'm at, it's going to get a lot worse. But in reality, getting a text saying, "Oh, you shouldn't talk about Turtleboy," coming from someone who wouldn't lose a wink of sleep if I died tomorrow. Let's put it that way. So Turtleboy had his fundraiser last weekend for 12 hours. He had all the best content creators on, and he raised over $80,000, and it is well deserved. This is a battle for the First Amendment, free speech. This is a battle for the Second Amendment, freedom of journalism. People have tried year after year, people he's blogged about, to get protective orders on him over and over because he hurts their feelings. And he has never lost in court because he only tells the truth. And he has documents and receipts to back it up, just like I do. Documents and receipts to back it all up. Aidian Kearny is alleged to have conspired with Karen Reed to defame the House defendants on the murder of John O'Keefe, a Boston police officer in Boston, Massachusetts. It happened in Canton, Massachusetts. And it is basically unprovable, because to prove defamation, the House defendants will have to prove that Turtleboy was spewing nonsense, was spewing narratives he didn't believe in, and he was colluding with Karen Reed to do this. Now it is public knowledge because Turtleboy's ex, 5150 there, released his phone extraction, and nothing really of substance came of it. They had his entire phone extraction out in public, on the internet, on Twitter, and no big revelations came from it. Think of that as being you. Think of that as being me. My entire phone was released to the public. Text messages, pictures, signal messages that they had available, everything that came from the Cellbrite extraction. If that was released to the fucking public, how would that make you feel? How would that make any sane person feel? Your whole life is there on your cell phone. All of us have skeletons in our closet. All of us have these dirty little secrets that are on our cell phones. And Turtleboys were revealed to the world multiple times. And nothing came. Nothing came from it. But in a desperation attempt, because they want to get Turtleboy's cell extraction, the civil attorneys, they included him in this new lawsuit. Karen Reed is already being sued civilly for the wrongful death of John O'Keefe, despite being vindicated in court, not once, but twice. because the idiot moronic judge Beverly Kearney in the first trial made the unprecedented ruling that you could you had to convict or not convict on every single charge. You couldn't convict on some and then not on others, which in the rest of the universe is true. You can go to any other state, be charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, whatever, be not guilty on murder, first degree, not guilty on second-degree murder, guilty on manslaughter, and serve that sentence. Beverly, Auntie Bev, decided to tell the jury that they had to acquit her of everything. So there should not have even been a second murder trial because the jury voted for her to be not guilty on the most serious of charges. That's what they did. They voted her not guilty. And apparently, like I said, the laws cease to exist in Boston or Canton, Massachusetts, as they do in the rest of the world. They appealed to the SJC and they lost. So they went to round two. Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, Bob Alessi, and Liza. They all went. They prepared for round two. They had a different strategy. They came out and they vindicated her. The only thing she was guilty of was OUI. So now, because the O'Keefes refuse to believe the truth, you want to say I'm delusional? You want to say I'm a liar? You want to say I'm a moron? These people put me at being a genius. Scientific evidence. ARCA, the leading accident reconstructionists in the world, tried to reconstruct Karen Reed allegedly backing up at 24 miles an hour and striking John O'Keefe, killing him, leaving him in the snow to freeze. And allegedly, all these people who were at this party, nobody noticed it. People coming, people going, people leaving, while the body's just out there dying. Nobody noticed it, not one person. You have to be an absolute buffoon to believe that to be true. You do. You got to be a buffoon to actually think and lead credence to their theory of how it happened. So they're suing her basically because they didn't like the outcome. They want to try to take more of her life and get some money out of it. And Karen Reed has not made any big money deals. They did a series, I believe, on Lifetime. She didn't see anything from it. They made it without her consent. She hasn't signed on for any major movie deals or anything, book deals, which there should be. And I'm sure they're waiting for the right opportunity to do so. And it's just absurd that the O'Keefe family and the witnesses are bringing this suit against her. And the judge who's presided over this trial has just been amazing. He's like, let's get this shit going. Where are the depositions? Where's the discovery? Because everyone is holding out. They're all holding out. They're not providing discovery. They're not providing anything that's needed to do the depositions. And it's just going to get dragged out. And if Peggy O'Keefe lives long enough to see this, to go to a jury, I would be surprised. Because the timeline for a jury trial is most likely going to be December of 2027. So that's quite a while. Aidian Kearny, Turtleboy, he's facing federal charges for witness intimidation. And witness intimidation, what he did was absolute bullshit, not witness intimidation at all. He went to Jen McCabe, who is worse than the devil, covering up John O'Keefe's murder. And he went and asked her questions, and she felt uncomfortable. And she went and she got a TRO, and you can see her emails. Please, please help me. Please just arrest him for something. Please, please. My pussy hurts and I needed to get powdered. Please, please help me. And she applied for a protective order. And for a TRO, a temporary restraining order, or a protective order, you have to show threats or instances of violence. And guess what? There were zero. Turtleboy did not threaten her. Turtleboy did nothing to intimidate her that he was going to physically harm her. The special prosecutor, Ken Mello, who was on his deathbed, lied when he presented to the grand jury, cherry-picked statements and proved them to be evidence when they weren't. Turtleboy does 2 to 3 shows per week. He cherry-picked certain comments he made from different shows and misrepresented what they actually were. He even misquoted them, and that was how he was able to get Turtleboy indicted. So Ken Mello, he can suck a fat dick. He started this, and they are going to end it because Karen Reed is now countersuing, and Karen Reed will win her countersuit. And Turtleboy raised $80,000 for a live stream that had no overhead, didn't go anywhere, no fancy dinner, nothing. All he did was get the top content creators out there to come on, talk about his case, and raise that kind of money. So there's no doubt in my mind he can do more. And he said he's got a ton of legal fees. Yeah, he's profited, and that's what they're trying to say. He profited over Karen Reed being successful with this lie. Well, guess what? You ignorant, dumb fucks. It was not a lie, number one. Number two, he didn't profit. Everything that he's made has gone to his legal defense. He's facing felony charges, felony witness intimidation charges, and now a civil lawsuit, conspiracy, defamation conspiracy. So he stands to lose money. Everything that he's worked for, everything that he's made could be taken away, including his freedom. Now, is he going to be serving 20 years to life in court? Absolutely not. 20 years to life in jail? Absolutely not. Could he serve time? Absolutely. Could he be forced to pay in the civil suit? Absolutely. But it's not the civil suit that's going to be the issue. The issue is going to be actually getting to the civil suit, because there's going to be hearing after hearing after hearing, which means billable hours after hours after hours. He's going to be billed until the sun don't shine. And that is what is going to drain him. That is what people do, especially when they know that they're fucked, when they know that they're wrong. They try to drain you financially so you cannot continue to stay the course. Turtleboy does not quit. Aidian Kearny, if there's one thing about him, this man has been down 1,000 times before, and he has risen up, and every time he has risen stronger. He doesn't give a flying fuck. He's been demonetized. He's had Facebook pages taken down. He's had his Google AdSense taken away. Yet he still found a way to make a living being an independent journalist on a website that draws hundreds of thousands of viewers. If you watch any of his live streams, take a look at his viewership. If you look at his subscribers, take a look at how many subscribers he had. I wish I had that. And he's built that up. And what's amazing is his best year was, I believe, around 2017 or 2018. He was rolling hot. He gets up one day, Facebook page gone. And that was the main platform he used to put his content on. And back then, his content was a little bit different. It was a little bit raunchier. It used much more vulgar language. And it's beside me to see that this has happened many times. And he's always since then created backup Facebook pages just in case they come after him again. YouTube does not allow him to do super chats. Now, super chats are a ripoff to begin with because YouTube takes 30% of any super chat that you do. You want to do super chat, you're giving 30% to YouTube. So Aidian put out Turtle Chats, and it's basically his Cash App. You Cash App Aidian, he gets 100% of it. And he can make several hundred to thousands a show. And people don't donate a lot. People donate what they can. I donate what I can. $20 here, $50, whenever I can. And it's for the cause. It's because we live in a country where the free speech is allowed. I can call you a cock-sucking, rancid, cunt, ratchet bitch. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Because that's what freedom of speech allows. And Aidian didn't do that initially. All Aidian did was go to some of the witnesses and he asked questions. Jen McCabe. Because when John O'Keefe was murdered, how long to die in the cold? She Googled. He asked, why did you Google that? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with Googling that? What's wrong with asking about that? Nothing. And he went to a lacrosse game, a public setting. No law against that. I can go to a lacrosse game. I can go to a public setting. I can ask questions. That's not illegal. Chris Albert. Yeah, the selectman who killed someone. Yeah, Chris Albert. Guilty, manslaughter, served time for it. Drunk driving, ran someone over, killed him. Served time, comes out. He opens a pizzeria, D&E Pizza in Canton. Check it out. It has a mediocre chicken parm, as Turtleboy says. Chicken parm Charlie. Let's go, chicken parm Charlie. Chris Albert, Brian Albert, who is also a Boston police officer, 34 Fairview Road, where the incident occurred. Now, you would think a Boston police officer, they would circle the fucking wagons for one of their own who was murdered. They didn't circle the wagons. They didn't circle shit. Kelsey Fitzsimmons, another Boston police officer. If you watched her trial, it was a month ago. They showed up to not in support of her, in support of the department for charging her when she never should have been charged. And she was too found not guilty. But you saw the Boston police show up in support of the Boston police, not in support of her. But John O'Keefe, one of their own, an innocent victim, someone who did nothing, the Boston police didn't show up for him. They didn't show up for him at all. What does that tell you? Kelly Deaver, the person who answered the phone communication, who was called up to the commissioner's office, the Boston police chief commissioner, told her to do the right thing. And she told defense attorneys that. And then when she was on the stand, she acted like she was on Mars. Oh, I don't know what I have to do with this case. I have nothing to do with this case. What am I doing here? And then when she was asked about meeting with the Boston police commissioner, she's like, oh, it was a false memory. I misremembered. Yeah, the old Roger Clemens defense. I misremembered. Yeah, I misremembered to take my Viagra today. That's what I misremembered. I misremembered why I was an asshole. Yeah, I misremembered that. Man, I misremember so much. I misremember the time I cheated on my sociology test at UConn. I can't remember that. My God, it's gone. It's gone. I just misremember. So Alan Jackson sent a letter saying that she should be on the Brady list because she either has false memories or committed perjury. It was one or the other. So Turtleboy has been up against the man, the monster that is the state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Well, there's nothing that's common or wealthy about Massachusetts. Massachusetts is a apparently derelict state where double jeopardy applies. And so everyone knows Karen Reed and Aidian Kearny were presented to the grand jury in 2023, I believe, for the exact same crimes. Criminal conspiracy. And the grand jury voted no bill. And as we all know, the grand jury can indict a ham fucking sandwich. And they didn't indict Aidian or Karen Reed. So they weren't indicted criminally. Now this has been going on civilly since Karen Reed's acquittal, which will be a year, June 25th. They have been trying to go after her and smear her and defame her as much as possible. Now, Aidian isn't perfect. Aidian has made mistakes. Aidian has screwed up. Yeah, we're all aware of it. It's all been put out there. He was dating someone who enjoyed being Mrs. Turtleboy. She enjoyed the attention that came with it. She enjoyed being the face next to him. She enjoyed going to court. But she clearly had jealousy issues with Karen Reed. She had jealousy issues with the relationship. And Aidian has said many times the relationship was purely professional. She was a source. You do not compromise your sources because that compromises your integrity. That ruins all credibility you have as a journalism. So how is this going to play out? I'll tell you how it's going to play out. If it goes to trial, it'll be a joke. Aidian hired a masterful civil attorney. Criminally, he has Tim Bradle, Mark Betterow, the A-team, the best of the best. They are going to go in there and they are going to layeth the smacketh down on the Commonwealth. They are. The Commonwealth is completely overmatched criminally. The criminal attorney, Robert Cosgrove, belongs in a nursing home. If you look at him, he looks like he's literally decaying. He has liver spots on his head. He gets names wrong, dates wrong, witnesses wrong. He gets confused and lost when he asks questions. He goes, well, what about this? What about that? He's a complete moron. None of this should be happening. And the people who should be upset the most, and the people who are not, taxpayers of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, taxpayers in Canton, taxpayers in Boston, Suffolk County. Your money is going to fund this. Your money went to fund 2 of Karen Reed's trials and bring in a special prosecutor, Spanky, Hank Brennan, the guy who represented Whitey Bulger. That's who they thought was going to bring home the case. Aidian Kearny, undefeated anytime he's been sued. And that's not going to change. Aidian Kearny, when he goes out in public, he is treated like a celebrity. People want to come up and take pictures with him. People want to shake his hand. People want to congratulate him. You know why? Because he's standing up to the man. He's not afraid. He's not going to back down. He does bus stop live videos every fucking morning, because that is when they first arrested him for witness intimidation. After he dropped his kids off for school at the bus stop, and you see on the body cam footage, the officers are like, oh, the kids are clear. The kids are clear. Let's go. So he videotapes his bus stop lives just in case they decide to arrest him again. And then you have the antis, the anti-Turtleboys, the anti-Free Karen Reed people, the anti supporters of the movement, which is amazing to me, because I messaged him because I'm blown away that these people literally sit up on their computers day and night. They look on Twitter for past posts. They look on his past shows for comments made, for anything he said. They must have a group like, okay, you go through episodes 300 to 350. I'll go through from 350 on. I'll go through 200 to 250. Like, it's unbelievable. He does 3 episodes per week. Tuesdays and Saturdays are public. Thursdays are for Turtle Riders only. And these people go through them and they just look for nuggets of clues. They look for any little word that he said that they think, oh, this breaks the case. This shows that he believed that Karen Reed was guilty. That was the narrative passed along last week, because they presented a quote completely out of context that was from January, I believe, of 2022. January 2022. He didn't even know about the case. He was just reading about it, and he said, oh, it sounds like, well, maybe he hit her. Nobody knew when it was from, and the people who presented it didn't provide when it was from. They were just showing that, oh, all along, Aidian believed Karen was guilty. Therefore, the civil lawsuit should prevail. And several Turtle Riders went back to check the episodes, and it sounded familiar. They found it. They played it in full context, and everybody was able to see that it was 2022. Aidian didn't fully become invested in the case until 2023. You know how I remember? Because I had a glorious foot amputation. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks with sepsis, and I read his content every day. I enjoyed watching his shows every day, and I credit him. I credit him for it, because that was one of the most challenging times of my life, and he got me through it. Being able to read his blogs, being able to watch his shows, got me through it. At the bleakest moment after my foot was amputated, at the bleakest moment when I was battling sepsis, at the bleakest moment when people were giving up on me, I was able to at least distance myself and, get away for a few hours just to read his blogs or watch his shows. And it was beautiful. And I never forgot that. And I'm so thankful for the time that I had, because it saved my life. I was going in the tank. After that moment, I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't think I was going to live anymore. And I had thrown in the towel. And it was Aidian's content that got me through 6 weeks in the hospital, 3 different surgeries, and motivated me to try becoming a podcaster. Am I anything close to the podcaster he is? No, I'm not even in the same universe as him. I say I'm the best podcast host in the universe as a moniker, but I'm the worst podcast host in the universe as it comes to be. And talking about Turtleboy is apparently stupid, and I need to lay off it, as my friend tells me. But having that support system made all the difference in the world. And that is why I am on his side. And it kind of showed me the light of what he does with free speech. Yeah, his verbiage isn't always politically correct. Yeah, he does report on a lot of ratchets who do ratchet things. People who sell food stamps for drugs. People who, as he calls out, they have crotch fruit. They have crotch fruit to get more welfare money. He points that out, and people don't like it. People want their blogs taken down. He exposes them. He exposes corruption. And there's not enough people that do that. The news doesn't always tell the truth. Aidian, for the most part, does. Has he lied? Sure. He's lied more about his personal life, which I understand, because his personal life should not be anyone's business. Yes, it goes to his credibility, but who he's dating, what he's doing, people are on top of that. It's like people want to know where he is at all times and what he's doing. He's a great father to his kids. He admits he wasn't the greatest husband. He admits marriage was not for him, but he is a great father, and 2 great kids came out of it. But the fact that they are suing him civilly now with Karen Reed, defamation conspiracy, is ludicrous, because if the civil bar is much lower for conviction, but criminally they tried to indict him and they failed. How stupid do you want to look, Commonwealth of Massachusetts? How stupid. And the police chief, Canton, Massachusetts, Helena Rafferty, run him down Rafferty. She had a hit and run of an 80-year-old man, ran him over with her car, and then acted like she was there to help him. And it was proven that she was off duty. She was using her police-issued vehicle to go to Target. That is how deep the corruption runs in Canton. And if it runs deep in Canton, I think it runs deep everywhere. Just like the Boston police chief calling up an officer who has been there a year, Kelly Deaver, before she was to testify, telling her to do the right thing, Kelly. Just do the right thing. And Kelly saying that, oh, I have a false memory. That never happened. That never happened. And everyone's mind was blown by that. Just like ARCA coming on and doing demonstrations showing that John O'Keefe could not have been killed by Karen backing up into the car, backing up and hitting him. That couldn't have happened. Couldn't have happened. Science proves it. You don't need witness testimony. You don't need Jen McCabe quarterbacking everything. You don't need Chris Albert butt dialing people during sex, as he said. Yeah, let's call people with my ass. He was calling Brian Higgins or Tully with his ass. And it was funny because during the trial, they openly admitted, oh, yeah, it was a butt dial. I was having sex with my wife and I butt dialed Tully, or I butt dialed Higgins. And Alan Jackson was like, yeah, but don't you have to put your passcode in, dial the number, and then the other person has to answer? You left a voicemail. So explain that to me, sir. You must have the most magical ass in the world. Not only does it butt dial people, it can put in codes, and it can apparently fart and leave voicemails. Because that's what it looked like. They did not tell the truth. They did not tell the truth to the grand jury. They did not tell the truth at trial. Every one of them should be charged with perjury. The fact that this lawsuit is even going on. Colin Albert is the other one. Colin Albert is Chris Albert's moronic son, who was playing football at Bridgewater State. And he was exposed for so much of his behavior. Bang, bang. He said, bang, bang. The Bang Bang Boys. Yeah, right. And he said on the stand that he had never been in a fight before. Meanwhile, a few hours later, Turtleboy was sent 4 different videos or 3 different videos of him in fights. And let me tell you, Colin, you do not have a career in MMA or boxing. If you want one, Tyler King, go to the UFC gym in Boston. Go get Tyler. Tyler and you would work beautiful together. You would work absolutely beautiful together. Colin Albert is part of this suit as well because his feelings were so hurt because Turtleboy wrote blogs about him and said so many things about him. Oh my God, Colin, he puts up this tough guy image and he's softer, as my old high school coach used to say, softer than a mouse pissing on cotton. That's Colin Albert. That's Colin Albert. So he's part of the lawsuit, and the House defendants are. It's going to be an absolute joke and a shit show. I cannot wait for the hearing. I cannot wait for Turtleboy to go to trial because he is going to be vindicated. He's got documentaries coming out. He's got movies coming out, and he's probably going to write a book. And you know why? Because he stuck to his guns. He found this story that was getting no attention, and he believed in it. He believed in Karen Reed. He believed in her attorneys. And yes, he was fed some information, but the information he was fed, all factual, all correct. Down south, we have Julius Williams, Jordan Harris, and the rest of the team of the Trench Mob. They train offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps all across the country. They have sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. They have sent the highest percentage of kids who work with them to Division I schools on scholarship. To work with the best, go to trenchmobfootball.com. Ned Von Young runs the Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a high-end laundry service.
You book online, put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, and fold it for you in 48 hours. They also offer an expedited service if you need that as well. They have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly, where you can get your laundry done that way. They offer deals for college students. So if you want your laundry done, you can do it in your own dorm. They have a pickup and now a delivery service. So you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home or dorm room. To sign up, go to their website, my-freshfold.com. All right. So again, Turtleboy is going to prevail. Colin Albert suing him is absolutely hysterical. Jen McCabe, who quarterbacked this entire nonsense, is hysterical. Jen McCabe, Chris Albert, Brian Higgins, Brian Tully. Somebody is responsible for John O'Keefe's death. They should be sued. They're the ones who should be sued for wrongful death, because it is clear from the evidence they went into, John O'Keefe entered the house at 34 Fairview Road. He was not run over by Karen Reed. He entered the house. He got beat up. The autopsy photos show that the Albert's dog, Chloe, attacked him. And the medical examiner even said the marks on his arms were bite marks, most likely from a dog. And the Commonwealth wanted you to believe that they were from a cocktail glass that John O'Keefe was holding. Yeah, I was born. I was born on a day. That day wasn't fucking yesterday. And yeah, I'm fired up because everything that's happened to Aidian Turtleboy is bullshit. Everything that's happening is purely a witch hunt because they don't want the truth coming out. They don't like his reporting because his reporting gets attention, because he has a platform which hundreds of thousands of people watch. His live shows get 50,000, 100,000 views. I mean, it's incredible. He has built this, and it's not like it happened overnight. People know him now. They know him over the past year because he pioneered the coverage of Karen Reed. He went out on a limb and covered Karen Reed when nobody else was. Not the mainstream media, not the local media in Boston. A few YouTubers were, and Aidian Kearny was. He put everything into this case. He knows it inside and out, and he knows the truth. And he talked with Karen Reed. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal about that. He didn't intimidate any witnesses. He wanted the witness to testify. He wanted the witnesses to tell the truth. He encouraged them to. Please testify. Please, go up there, tell your story. And watch Alan Jackson, Karen Reed's attorney, rip you to shreds, which is exactly what happened. And what's going to happen in the civil trial? Karen Reed has phenomenal lawyers. Alan Jackson is still part of the team. Turtleboy has incredible, he hired an incredible civil attorney that's very costly. We're going to have to continue to fundraise for him. And the antis out there are trying to take this man down every minute of every day. And I said that to him. I said, I cannot imagine how it feels to wake up every morning and wonder, what in the fuck is going to come out next? What in the fuck am I going to have to deal with next? Because the antis are going through shows. They're going through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anything they can find that they can use as evidence against him to prove that he knew Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe. So for this civil lawsuit to succeed, the House defendants, Jen McCabe and the Munchkin group there, the group of Contessas, have to prove that Karen Reed and Turtleboy knew John O'Keefe was struck by a car and Karen Reed killed him. They have to know that they were purposefully, intentionally putting out misinformation to try to control the narrative of the trial and to sway the jury pool. They have to prove that. That's number one. So how do you prove what's in someone else's mind? How can you prove what they think? How do you prove what they think and what they know? When he's pounding the table over and over and over, she's innocent, she's innocent, she's innocent. This shouldn't be going to trial. This shouldn't be going to trial. She's going to win the trial. Pounding it over and over and over. And then you're going to say, okay, so he colluded with Karen Reed. She apparently told him that she ran over John O'Keefe and killed him. And then the second thing you have to prove is damages. Jen McCabe, oh, I'm just a sweet soccer mom. I'm just a soccer mom. I'm innocent. I'm just an innocent little soccer mom. I don't do anything. I'm just a soccer mom. Yeah, okay. Chris Albert, what are your damages? You retired. You got your full pension. Colin Albert, I don't think is on the list. Colin Albert is. He dropped out of college. Was he going to be the next rocket scientist or brain surgeon? Doubtful. Listen to him speak. Watch his mannerism. He was going to play football at Bridgewater State. So Bridgewater State, I'm sure they're a phenomenal university. I don't know how many doctors and lawyers and physicists and engineers come out of Bridgewater State. So damages for Colin Albert would be extremely limited. And the rest of the group, Michael Proctor, was fired because of his vile text messages about Karen Reed, saying that she had a no-ass Fall River accent and a leaky balloon knot because of her medical condition. He bashed her. Everyone was rehomed. Everyone, even Sergeant Good, is under investigation and may lose his job. So everything is pointing in the direction Turtleboy was right. This was a massive cover-up. This was corruption across the board, and it involved so many levels. And the FBI investigated it, and they stopped at some point. But the grand jury testimony and the testimony that was given during interviews is still available and will be provided to Turtleboy and Karen Reed. So not only is Karen Reed going to not get off, she is innocent civilly. She is going to win her countersuit against the House defendants because it is beyond fucking ridiculous. And from there, Turtleboy is going to win. And I hope he's able to get some of his legal defense money back. And we're going to continue to work. It's been 3 years since this started. 3 years, I believe it was April 2023, Aidian Kearny wrote a blog that started a revolution. Aidian Kearny is an inspiration. Aidian Kearny brought everyone together. You saw the courthouse and how it was packed with Free Karen Reed supporters every single day for 2 trials. And one man started that, Turtleboy. And he did it because not about Karen Reed being the best person in the world, not about anything else besides he wanted to expose the corruption in Massachusetts. He wanted people to see the truth of what was going on. And he wasn't going to stop. He was not going to let an innocent woman go to jail. Just like now, he is not going to let an innocent woman have to pay out whatever they're suing her for. That is absolute bullshit. She is going to countersue and she is going to win. He is going to countersue. He is going to win. And everyone is going to laugh when this is over. So I am coming on to say that because I believe in him and I do credit him and thank him, because during my darkest hours, I was able to read his content, watch his shows, and it got me through it. And he has communicated with me occasionally. He's been very, very kind and supportive. And I appreciate that, because when you don't have a ton of support and you lose friends and it's not there and it's no fault of your own. I mean, you become a different person and people's lives change. People have different responsibilities and they don't necessarily want you around or have time to see you. So I understand that. But Aidian Kearny, became a part of my life, and being able to learn this case and to see the truth and to see what the Canton police, the state police, the Commonwealth was doing was absolutely wrong and bullshit. And the free Karen Reed people, and then you have the nonners, the non-supporters who every single day try to get him. Every day. And I don't know how he does it. Every day he has to get up. And I just wonder, it's like, oh, what are they going to say? What are they going to say now? What are they going to create now? That's what every day they're just looking to get him. There's a group. They just look to take this man down, and it's absolute bullshit. And yeah, Dom, I apologize for talking about Turtleboy again and toning it down. I wouldn't have to talk about Turtleboy if you would talk to me. You want to talk to me? Talk to me. You want to see me? See me. And then I won't have to do podcasts about Turtleboy. I won't have to have all this time to rant and rave and act like a lunatic. Because, right, I act like a madman and a lunatic, and I'm a batshit crazy fuck, right? Right? That's exactly what the fuck I am. I don't know what I'm talking about. I make myself look like a dipshit, putz, fucking loser, right? So instead of giving me your advice, try having a conversation. Try that. So I just wanted to say that about Aidian. He is going to prevail. Support his legal fund. Donate. Every dollar counts. He's going up against the man, and it's going to be a long haul because they're going to financially try to drain him over and over and over. And we need every dollar we can to support him, and he deserves our support because he's standing up for our basic rights of free speech. Free speech. Dumb fuck, useless, cunt, ratchet, whore. I should be able to say that because we have freedom of speech. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.